In the beginning of fur trade, the Hudson Bay Company was the start of the new frontier, backed by many companies and government in Britain. Exploration of the Americas to hunt and trap the American fur-bearing animals such as deer, elk, beaver, muskrat, minks, and foxes, but the number one fur to be had was the beaver. The trapping and trading industry was a booming industry that engaged many American inhabitants, such as the Native Americans, in trading and buying furs from them because they knew the land and the weather better than the new settlers. There is plenty of money to be made for these mountain men. Optimism in bringing in dozens of fur pelts is the ultimate goal for these entrepreneurs. The job came with many prices like harsh weather conditions, hostile encounters with Indians, and predators in the wilderness. The rivers and streams were major transportation routes used to trade and transport goods. In search for animals, the trappers found new routes and created new ones in the pursuit, which were instrumental in well-known migration routes throughout North America, down to St. Louis, with Lewis and Clark sparked a fascinating and inspiring exploration, which was highly infectious for people to explore the unknown and making money while doing so, creating that what we know now is the mountain man. The economy was driven by beaver pelts, bought mostly by European companies who processed the fur in garments and headwear. Beaver felt hats were a very fashionable piece, and along with the style of hat noted your occupational profession. Many companies would employ trappers or buy furs from free trappers. The mountain men were equipped with muskets and muzzleloaders and knives, often clothed in leathers and furs themselves. In specifics of one known trapper out of the many dozens is Antoine Robidoux, was a very clever Canadian fur trapper, trader, and businessman. Strongly connected into the North American fur trade, Antoine was born in St. Louis, 1794. He spoke English, French, and Spanish. When Robidoux was 9, Lewis and Clark left St. Louis in their epic journey. Upon their arrival, excitement swept the town. Antoine being raised in the fur trade business by his father, Antoine left St. Louis and that city life in pursuit of more wealth. Arrived soon enough out west in Delta, Colorado, and eastern Utah, just outside Roosevelt. In 1828, he built Fort Uncompahgre that took place as a permanent trading post. Antoine soon ventured to eastern Utah, where he spent more of his time trapping and trading, leaving the fort behind in his brother Lewis's hands in pursuit of more wealth and expanding his business. In exploration of Utah and the Uinta region, he realized the plentiful bounds of wildlife. Robidoux trapped in the Uinta Basin and north slope of the Uinta Mountains, with having one of the most successful years after gaining Mexican citizenship and exclusive trapping license in the Ute country. Soon after building the Fort Uncompahgre, he sold enough furs in Santa Fe, nearly $4,000 worth, where he was able to buy the Reed trading post from William Reed that fall, which was prime real estate for trapping. With this fortune, he built a trading post nearby the Reed Trading Storehouse just outside the spring runoff. The fort was known as Fort Robidoux or Fort Uinta, Fort Winty or Twinty. The fort was small groups of log cabins with dirt floors and dirt roofs, with a wood fence surrounding the compound. Robidoux realized the fur trade was much more than trapping beaver. He wanted to expand his reach by establishing his trade post on the map as a location to buy, sell, and trade sustenance, guns, gunpowder, awls, food, drink, blankets, jerky, and horses with the Indians and freeman trappers. He employed 20 trappers at each fort solely on trapping. When Robidoux acquired enough furs for a pack train, he would travel to New Mexico or sometimes even St. Louis to sell pelts for premium pricing and stock up on more supplies for the fort. Taos, New Mexico was the main convenient trading location he would go to in Santa Fe. Being in the mountains, he would sell goods at 100 to 200 margin upon pricing, sometimes even 2,000% markup. Risking his business and life in supplying his fort in the Uintas came at that price. He would travel the old Spanish trail routes for trading. His caravans consisted of 8 mules that carried 2,000 pounds of fur. Most trading was inconsistent, especially for the Indians. Most trappers would pay the Indians much less than non-Indians. It was also illegal in Mexico to trade and sell firearms to the Indians. Many did, including Robidoux. Never formally charged for his exchanges because of the circumstances in the investigations in 1844. The fort was burnt down due to a hostile breakout between the Mexicans and the Indians. In New Mexico, Taos Lightning liquor became the nemesis of the fur trade, causing much chaos in dealings with the Indians. They became ruthless towards their own kind and others, even the ones who were trading with. Murderings and much bloodshed came from intoxication. The white man definitely took advantage on trades with giving strong drink. Robidoux was involved with many traders, even traders from the Hudson Bay Company, including William Ashley and his 100 men. Robidoux made a pivotal business decision that jeopardized his career about buying horses at his fort from those passing through. He bought 400 horses one year, and a cruel winter blizzard came and froze all 400 horses, 2 of his men, and nearly losing his wife, Carmel, to the cold. William's direction was a bit obscured after that, losing well over $400,000 in horse assets. Robidoux fell into the trap of capturing and selling Native American women and children, and also keeping slaves for his own use. The fur trade business wasn't for the faint of heart. The outcomes of his endeavors were plenty. He opened new trade routes and a whole new market for the fur trade, and supplied many jobs for those who joined him. One series that you should check out is The Frontier on Netflix, starring Jason Momoa and his relationship with the Hudson Bay Company. It is a great insight into the fur trade and the harsh environments these men were in.